Why does the red pill community love to use the exception to the rule? I thought we spoke in generalities. Oh my. I'm sure you guys know who Steven Crowder is. As of lately, the red pill community has been reacting a lot to Steven Crowder. They love to bring up Steven Crowder because it justifies their philosophical, ideological position on marriage. All right. And what they usually love to say is, look, marriage doesn't work. If it doesn't work for someone like Steven Crowder, who's a conservative, it just doesn't work. All right. These tradcons don't know what they are talking about. That's usually the line of argument when they bring up people like Steven Crowder. It justifies their philosophical, ideological position. Today, we're going to be reacting to Just Pearly Things. She's had a few things to say in relation to Steven Crowder. Apparently, Steven Crowder has been red-pilled. I don't know. What I do know is that if you marry a promiscuous woman, you should expect you're more likely to, you should expect, promiscuous outcomes. You should expect divorce. You should expect all of these things. Why? Because the likelihood is higher when you marry a promiscuous woman than when you marry, let's say, a virgin or a conservative woman that has religious values, religious beliefs, and so on and so forth. So that's the reason why I say it is better. Of course, nothing is guaranteed, but when you weigh up the pros and cons, it's better to marry a woman who is more likely to believe in values that are conducive to long-term relationships, or which they tend to be traditional religious values. Okay, what tradcons would believe in. All right. So it's better to choose that type of woman than it is to choose what people would call a hoe. All right. So if you choose a hoe, well, yeah, the likelihood is kind of high. The likelihood that she's going to divorce you, she's going to cheat on you, she's going to take your kids away from you, she's going to use the system against you. Yeah, the likelihood is much more higher. But is it guaranteed? No, nothing is guaranteed in life. But yeah, we have to weigh our pros and cons. So without further ado, let's react to Just Pearly Things and see what she has to say in relation to Steven Crowder.
What do you know about Steven Crowder?
I know that he's quite controversial.
Yeah.
He's like a strict Christian? Is he strict?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was he a strict Christian? I've never heard him say he was a strict Christian. Maybe because when he got married, he was a virgin, or he said he was a virgin. Maybe that's what they saying is a strict Christian. But I never heard him say that.
Yeah, and advocate for marriage.
Yeah.
And,
Well, he was.
Oh, he was. He's no longer. He's no longer advocate for marriage. Steven Crowder is no longer advocate for marriage because he's going through a divorce. Really? Okay, let's find out why then.
Oh no, what happened?
So Crowder.
Okay, she asked what happened. So Just Pearly's going to tell us what happened.
Really, I would say did everything right. He actually waited till he was married with his wife to have sex, and that actually made like headlines back in the day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and he ends up doing the traditional conservative route, and he gets married and he has 2 kids. About 6 to 8 months ago now, his wife released ring footage accusing him of abuse.
Oh no.
Basically. So she didn't answer the question. She said he was an advocate for marriage. She said, Just Pearly replied, he was. And then she said, oh, what happened? She didn't really answer the question. I was expecting her to say, the reason why he's not an advocate for marriage anymore is because he said that he's not an advocate for marriage anymore. That's what I was hoping to hear. But instead, she just told us what's his name, Steven Crowder's story. That's it. But the question was, she said he was an advocate for marriage. Just probably said he was not an advocate. He was an advocate for marriage. So I'm assuming he's no longer an advocate for marriage. So I'm assuming that Just Pearly would have basically shown us where he said he's no longer an advocate for marriage. So the question hasn't been answered. All right. So okay, let's go to the next.
So Crowder, before he was married, had a very different tune on the men that feared marriage. And right now there's a clip going viral of his changes in tune after this whole thing. Let's pull it up.
Okay, so he changed his tune, all right? Okay, so he changed his tune before he got divorced. He's still going through the divorce, by the way, guys.
Talked about this a lot, the incels, right? The involuntary celibates, the professionally outraged over alimony and child support payment crowd. Sorry, I'm not on board with you. You know what? You need to learn to be the person that your woman's going to want when wolves are at the door.
Not my choice. Steven Crowder announces horrendous divorce from wife Hillary as YouTuber speaks out on deepest personal failure. Okay, this does not say that he's no longer an advocate for marriage. That's not what this says. This wasn't my choice. Heartbroken YouTube star Steven Crowder announces he and wife Hillary are going through a horrendous divorce after she decided she didn't want to be married anymore. Okay, again, this does not say that he is no longer an advocate for marriage. It doesn't answer that. Steven Crowder appears to issue veiled threat in response to abuse claims. Again, this does not say that he's no longer an advocate for marriage.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, they think we're celebrating, and we're not celebrating. Like, I would never celebrate this sort of thing. But
you are celebrating. The entire Red Pill community is celebrating. They use these moments, as rare as they are, exceptions to the rule. They use these exceptions to the rule to literally celebrate and bask on the fact that it justifies their ideology somehow, which it doesn't at all, because it's the exception to the rule. Okay, it's not the norm within people that believe in traditional conservative values to get divorced. It's not the norm. The norm is people that is modern men and modern women. The norm when it comes to divorce, the people that are getting divorced the most are people who subscribe to modern values. Modern men and modern women, and it's women that initiate 80% of divorces, but it doesn't happen amongst religious, traditional, conservative people as much. But they love to use the exception to the rule when it comes to tradcons in order to prove their ideology, in order to prove that they are right. That's basically what's happening here.
But it's like you don't know until you know.
What does that mean? You don't know until you know.
Exactly. I mean, that's it. It's horrible for him to do that to fellow men.
Anyways, let's get to the next part of the reaction.
Well, and the other thing is, he was assuming, he said, just be the person your wife needs you to be, something like that.
Yeah.
He's assuming we're reasonable people.
Yeah.
Like, we're not guys, you know what I mean? I'm like, you're assuming the woman that they married is reasonable.
Yeah.
And so now you have this girl, she waited till she was married.
Mm-hmm.
She was a Christian. She was thin. She was beautiful. Like,
yeah.
But what else was he supposed to do? He found the good woman that prayed.
And then.
So
he found the good woman that prayed. That's another dig at people that believe in religion and conservative values. Again, nothing is guaranteed in life, and exceptions to the rules don't count. All right, this could happen to Steven Crowder or anyone in the religious community. So this doesn't prove that the red pill community view on marriage is right. It really doesn't. Without marriage, guys, you won't have a society. All right, and without marriage, you will not have the nuclear family. You will not have a society. You will not have everything that you guys take for granted in society. All right, look at what's happened to society. Look at what's happened to society ever since marriage has declined. Look at it. All right, look at it. Kids are more dysfunctional than ever, more unstable than ever, worse than ever. I mean, society is not looking good. More hedonistic people, more hedonistic than ever. Society is not looking good for the future. It really isn't. So, and that's because of the breakdown of the nuclear family. That's just the truth. And the breakdown of the nuclear family means destroying marriage. That's the main thing that holds the nuclear family together. The reason why the birth rate is declining is because the nuclear family because marriages has declined. The reason why you have a single mother culture that's consistently rises because marriages has declined. So this thing that the red pill does, which that tells men not to get married, is very destructive to society. And they don't tell you the whole truth. They don't tell you that it comes down to morals. It comes down to moral values. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. They don't like to include or inject morality into their argument, because their argument will eventually fall apart, because people in religious sectors, people that believe in traditional conservative values are less likely to get divorced in comparison to people that believe in modern values, modern secular feminist values. This is a fact. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy this reaction. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time on the next reaction. Peace.